Hey moms and dads, we know for sure that your little one, your child's health and well-being, it's the most important thing on earth by far. So we also know that it's absolutely stressful, absolutely worrisome, and it's a heck of a tough battle to see your kiddo go through croup. Now, those long sleepless nights trying to do all the home care remedies, many of which if you don't know them yet, we'll break them down in this video, they are a tough go for any parent as your child continues to cough, continues to have that barking, tough, what's called Stridor cough that goes with croup. And unfortunately, it almost always gets worse at night when you can feel so alone and so just wound up and tense yourself. What can you do? Now, most families, of course, this is a situation where that cough and that stress is so bad, you end up at the pediatrician or you end up at the urgent care and you end up with medications, corticosteroids, antibiotics, whatever it may be, maybe a combination of the two. And the challenge is with medications, they don't get to the root cause. So what we find again and again with our kiddos with croup, and actually found as well for my son, whose story I'll break down briefly here in this video, it comes back again. The next time there's a seasonal change, the next time they pick up a cold, the next time they're teething, all of a sudden things progress and get worse, and now you're up late at night with croup as well. So what we want to do with this video is we want to break down croup into the black and white. We want to give you the nuts and bolts as to what it actually is, but more importantly, by far, what causes it, so then you can find out what to do about it. Is there drug-free natural options out there to help your kiddo get through croup more easily, and even better, best of all, not have croup anymore going forward? Now again, I mentioned this, very relatable topic, very relatable condition for me with our son Oliver. So our kiddo, it's a long, big, really incredible miracle story that you can read about on our website, pxdocs.com. and find a whole cool video, what we call a green chair series video that my wife and I did telling Oliver's story, which you can find on YouTube. But in short, one of the major challenges Oliver had was cardiorespiratory. So croup is a respiratory infection. It's where just the throat, the lungs, the whole process of breathing is compromised because of where specifically this croup infection sets up shop. So the virus that causes croup sets up at a certain location that really affects the vocal cords and breathing in a manner that leads to that stridor and that barking cough. And I know it all too well because in the first 12 months of life, Oliver went through croup and beat it 3 times over. Now, the reason that Oliver had such a compromised respiratory system, even though we're a healthy, chiropractic, natural living family, and we had all the things we're going to give you in this video, we had all of those weapons of good, if you will, in our arsenal. Well, Oliver's first beginning, he had such a traumatic birth. He actually had to have heart-lung bypass as a baby. He had persistent pulmonary hypertension. Every other case that started with Oliver's birth, and he was born preterm where the lungs weren't fully developed all the way, every case I know like Oliver's who started like that, they not only had chronic ear infections, RSV, and croup multiple times as an infant, but they're still dealing with asthma and allergies and chronic respiratory conditions today. Oliver's not. In fact, as of making this video for you, he took first place in a cross-country meet this week. Now that involves a lot of respiratory activity, right? So I want you to know this. If you're worried about not only your little one battling croup right now, but you've gotten online and said, hey, this could grow into asthma, allergies, respiratory compromise later on, and you don't want that for your kiddo, then watch this video all the way through because I'm going to break down exactly what we did for Oliver. And we only had to give him the tiniest little dose of a steroid medication one time. Now you better believe every time we took him to get checked out, because again, at night, parent to parent, this stuff sucks and you get stressed and your heart gets in front of your head and it is a lot. So we actually took Oliver to the urgent care in the middle of the night 2 different times, actually all 3 of those times, and twice we said no to the medications. We just needed to get him checked out, make sure it wasn't a fully emergent situation. Of course, they were trying to shove corticosteroids and what do they call them? Albuterol, you know, the inhaler, the mask, and antibiotics for a viral infection. That's the most emergency room in the United States thing ever. And we declined twice. And the one time we did give him a medication was the smallest little dose of oral corticosteroids because he was in such a bad way. So I'm not ashamed to admit that at all because that's the whole point point of what we try and get across with pxdocs, or if you're watching this on our local practice platform with PwC Chiropractic, is we are always looking to use things natural and neurological first and save medications as a last resort. Only in the toughest of cases do we do them. So it's awesome that Oliver had such a severe, tough start, yet only needed one tiny dose. They told us to give it to us for 10 days, and we did it for one time to get him to sleep better that night, because if you can't sleep, you can't heal, and that's where we get into croup. So croup is diagnosed medically really through the symptoms, right? Like all medical diagnostics. Now, they may ratchet it up and take an x-ray and do all that sort of stuff, but primarily croup has such a very easy categorized and distinctive cough that it's pretty easy to diagnose that way. Now, there's a lot of misconceptions about what's causing croup. One of the things we hear again and again from pediatricians, standard kind of pediatricians, is that like ear infections, oh, it's just a smaller, more horizontal eustachian tube or ear tube causing ear infections. Some kids just have smaller airways. Well, that's just reliant on, oh, they got the bad planning, the bad programming. Why would that airway be smaller and more inflamed? That's all you need to know about croup. When there's tension on the nerves and muscles that control the airway, tension not only causes constriction, so the airway does get smaller, but then it gets inflamed and it gets irritated. So really croup is a 1-2 punch. That's all you need to know that's really causing croup. You have too much tension, stress and stress and stress on the nervous system, the sympathetic fight or flight system. We call that subluxation. And that then leads to inflammation and irritation. So what does that mean? The most important part of this video is the natural take-home solutions. So the number one thing you want to do is get your child's nervous system more relaxed. The number one thing you can do to get a child's nervous system to be more relaxed is to get them to a neurologically focused pediatric chiropractor. Every time Oliver was in a battle with croup and I made these light, gentle, safe, wildly effective, neurologically focused adjustments, you could see his body relax. You could see him relax. You could hear and physically see the airway open up and his diaphragm and his lungs breathe better. So this form of manual care without drugs is wildly effective at getting your kiddo's airway to be more relaxed. Now, the coolest thing about chiropractic adjustments done in a neurologically focused manner is when you make an adjustment in this way, you take the body out of that sympathetic fight or flight response as well. We can actually lessen that. And that's where inflammation comes from. So one of the things that triggers inflammation is poor diet, sugar, toxins, dairy, all that sort of stuff. Well, if your child has battled with ear infections, croup, RSV, I bet you've already probably gone into a cleaner diet, supplements, essential oils, and done that. But I wanted to start, as we're in this final what actions should you take or can you take part of the video, start with chiropractic. I just know that the reason, Oliver, we did everything else. I'm going to go through and we have an incredible article on the website that gives you all the natural remedies for croup, and it includes humidifiers, switching from a hot, warm, humid. So get them in the bathroom, spend 30 minutes, get them in there. They don't necessarily need to be in the shower, but run the shower crazy, crazy hot. Let that just humidity and moisture build up. And then usually croup is worse in the spring and fall, so it actually works with the weather. And then you wrap them in a blanket and you go outside for 20 to 30 minutes. And that contrast of warm, moist air to cold air really helps soothe the airway and take down some of that tension and inflammation. There's supplements, there's essential oils, there's balms and body rubs that you can find on the article on the website, www.pxdocs.com. Wherever this video is going up, I guarantee the team will post the link to the article as well. There's so many natural remedies and solutions you can do. And I want to close this video with this. Don't just do it when they're sick and struggling with croup, RSV, ear infections, and so forth. Do this stuff consistently to relax their body, keep them out of fight or flight, keep them in that healthy growth and development mode, keep their body, their lungs. So much of croup is just mechanical. Kiddos with rough traumatic births like Oliver had, where he had a lot of physical injury to his neck and upper torso. So vacuum, induction, forceps, C-section puts a lot of pressure onto the mechanics of breathing. That's why the adjustments were so effective for Oliver. So make sure all of these things are a regular part of care, and then you just do them extra when your child has those bouts of croup. So what I want you to do is learn more. I wanted to rip through everything I could in this video without taking too long, because I know that the articles on the website really have a lot of information for you. So please comment below with any questions you have about croup and respiratory infections for your your kiddo. Comment below if you've done some of these natural chiropractic things to help your child through, and you could share your experience and help other moms as well on this video. Whether you're watching it on social or on YouTube or wherever you're finding it, please comment below with any questions, any experiences. And if you don't want to put it in the comments, just send us a DM. Any questions, any experiences, anything we can do to help, simply send us a DM. And if you're ready to get help from a neurologically focused pediatric chiropractor, and you're not local to me, outside of Chicago in our practice, PwC Chiropractic, well then go to the website, www.pxdocs.com. Just click the link with this video or in the bio. It's a short URL, so I always just, say it out loud. So go to the website, find the article all about croup. You'll find tons of other awesome articles on there as well, including breaking down subluxation and this tension thing we talked about here today. And you can learn more there. And then you can also click the button that says find a PX doc, and you can find that natural, neurologically focused chiropractor near you so that you can take care of this stuff without those side effect, long-term consequence building medications and drugs. God bless, be well, comment, DM, anything you can do to help, just reach out. See you on the next one.